Hi, I'm Sharon Wren.
And I'm Linda Cook.
And this is our QC Crime Watch. This week we'll be taking a look at some of the crimes that have happened in the Quad Cities this week, and we're going to check in on some ones we've written about in the past.
That's right. And then I have a scam from a small town that actually applies to just about anybody listening. So we'll tell you how to keep safe.
And by the way, neither one of us have any legal training, so we cannot offer any legal advice.
Right.
Well, Linda, do you want to get us started?
Sure. We'll start in Aledo, and the Aledo Police Department issued a news release reminding people if it says possible scam or scam call or unknown, even unknown identity, you don't necessarily need to answer the phone, and if you do, you don't need to do as they ask. So the Aledo Police Department has received 2 recent complaints about scam activity. And these both involve large sums of money. Now, This is a quote from the news release. Luckily, both residents were diligent in their actions and determined the calls were not valid.
Good.
Neither citizen reported financial losses. That's from the news release. Now, let us help you in case you get one of these calls. I've gotten these calls, Sharon. I think you have too.
I've gotten them. I get scam likely a lot.
Right, I do too. So never give out any personal information over the phone unless you absolutely 100% know who this person is, or you can verify this information with a trusted third party.
For example, your bank isn't going to call you for your account number. They will have it.
They have it. So in these situations, a suspicious caller might ask for your social security number, your birth date, your home address, credit card or debit card information, financial institution information, account numbers, and additional phone numbers.
Oh dear.
So remember this, a financial institution, just as Sharon said, will never resolve your financial matters via text or through an unknown party or foreign number you don't recognize. It's okay to say, I don't want to talk to you about this. You don't have to be mean. Just say, I prefer to go to the bank, and then go to the bank and say, I got this call.
Or you can call the bank also and say, I received this call from this number.
Absolutely. And someone tried to defraud us of some money. It's probably been 2 or 3 months ago, and I knew what was going on because there was an urgency to it. We need you to do this now. That's also, although that's not part of the news release, that's also a sign of fraud. So when that happens, go to your bank, and there are so many places. Just Google fraud reports. Various places you can report fraud, suspicious activity, so that these folks don't prey on other people.
Right. But if nothing else, you can always call your local police department.
Exactly.
The non-emergency number, preferably.
Exactly. Yes. So if you do get these calls, we hope that, like these 2 people in Aledo, that everything turns out happily for you too.
Well, moving on from scams, the Target in Davenport has not really had the best couple of months.
They've had a lot of people committing smaller crimes there.
Yes. A woman from Moline was arrested after police say she took about 20 cans of baby formula from the store in December of 2023. The criminal complaint says the defendant, identified as Lucinda Overton, put about 20 cans of baby formula in a duffel bag, put the bag in the cart, they counted 18 other items in with the duffel bag, walked out the door past all the points of sale. The items totaled $783.13.
Oh.
Now that happened in December 23.
Okay.
A warrant was issued for her on February 14th, 2024. Heck of a Valentine's Day gift. And she was arrested on February 25th of this year, and she has a pretrial conference in March. She probably did not need all those cans for her children.
Well, let's talk about boosters for just a moment.
Yes.
There are people who go to stores to steal specific items for friends or family, and they'll say, oh, give me $10 and I'll go steal this for you. And this happens all the time. Some have special bags engineered so that they can't be scanned. But I don't know whether she was just doing this to pile up her stock, or maybe she was selling it to someone else. But that is sometimes the root of the crime.
Right. But 20 cans at one time, that's nobody really has $783 to just drop on formula.
No.
Well, in further news from the Davenport Target, there was a man from Eldridge who was arrested after police say he shoplifted from there 10 times. One incident was in February 2024. The other 9 incidents happened between January 30th and February 27th, 2025. The losses for the store totaled $1,475.45. We don't know what all the gentleman allegedly took. The gentleman is identified as Dustin DeMuth, 43. He's accused of bagging items without scanning them and then passing all points of sale. He was released on bail and is awaiting an initial court appearance.
Sharon, you've written about this before. What's that called? There's a name for what he did. Skip scanning, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Skip scanning is when you go with your items that you're buying at the store, and instead of, for example, scanning a pot roast, you scan, a bag of a little thing of powdered drink mix.
Okay.
Price discrepancy, big price discrepancy.
Right.
And then they bag the roast, and they only pay for the items that they scan.
So they skip some items, and that's why it's called that.
Things.
Right.
And then they pay, maybe they get, say, $200 worth of food for $40, because not everything was scanned.
Because you have done numerous stories about skip scanners recently.
Recently, yes.
And I've heard that some stores are bringing back in-person cashiers, and I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but it might.
I think it does. Dollar General is taking them out. Hy-Vee is taking them out. Walmart is taking them out. So.
Wow. Well, neither one of us is surprised when this happens, because it happens frequently all around the Quad City area and in the United States.
Yeah, this is not just a local problem.
No, not at all. I'll move, if I might, from theft to drugs. A 33-year-old Davenport man was being held Thursday in Scott County Jail after the Scott County Sheriff's Office Special Ops team served search warrants. His name, the fellow in question, is Roosevelt Miller Jr. He faces numerous felony charges after the Special Ops unit saw him on West Kimberly Road, brought in a canine to conduct a search, and in the Chevy Suburban was 464.9 total package weight grams of marijuana, and I will not go down this long list, but he also had 65.6 grams total package weight of crack cocaine, 3 digital scales, and sandwich bags. The total, because I did the pounds, because you taught me to do that, but the pounds, it was just a little, right around 2.5 pounds of marijuana. So that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then
probably not personal use.
Probably not. The Special Ops unit then went to a residence on West 58th Street, and that's where they found crack cocaine, more marijuana, a handgun, and ammunition. So because Mr. Miller is a convicted felon, also there were no tax stamps, and that's a felony.
It's a felony.
People not having a tax stamp on these substances is a felony. So he faces several charges and has a preliminary hearing set for March 7 in Scott County Court.
Well, you brought in the drugs. I'm bringing in the fights.
Oh, this was interesting.
This was something else, something you see in the movies. 4 people were recently arrested after what is described as a brawl at Bullmore Lanes in Davenport. Now, according to the criminal complaints, because there were 4 of them for the 4 individuals, George James, 28 of Davenport, Esmeralda Garcia, 24 of Davenport, Garrett Flynn, 23 of Davenport, and Kevin Gilpin of Rock Island, he's 26, were arrested and accused of participating in a brawl with over 10 people at the bowling alley. All 4 were actively participating. Ms. Garcia is accused of taking, those plastic pitchers that they have beer or water in, and throwing it.
I would be terrified if that happened next to me, if I were just with my family and bowling. Yes.
And I have seen, there was a video that's been on and off social media. I have seen the video, and it looked like a fight out of a movie. You have a movie and then there's a bar fight. And
right.
That's what it looked like.
Wow.
So if you've ever wondered what you can get arrested for in the movies for a bar fight, it's technically called rioting.
Right.
These folks are arrested on felony counts of rioting. They have all posted bond and been released from the Scott County Jail and have hearings on March 7th. Oh my
March 7th is going to be a busy day in Scott County.
Busy day in Scott County.
Now there's another Davenport man. He's 39. He was in custody, and this has been Saturday after police say he cut a victim with a machete and then took off with a car. So Justin Piles faces these felony charges: first-degree robbery, second-degree theft, going armed with intent, and then an aggravated misdemeanor charge of assault while displaying a dangerous weapon, i.e. the knife.
I would call that a dangerous weapon.
Very early on Wednesday, February 19, Davenport police responded to the 2700 block of West 49th Street in response to a robbery. And in affidavits, and that's what we go by. Those are the official documents that we read and
They
write
come from the police.
Exactly. Police say Piles robbed a victim with the intent to commit a theft while brandishing this knife or machete, and cut this woman near her right eye. So they were in a silver Grand Prix that the victim was driving when this argument began. So affidavits show that the victim said she was in fear she would be harmed further, slowed the car down, got out, and ran into a Quick Star on West Kimberly Road where someone helped her patch up her eye, below her eye, I should say. And then Piles allegedly got in the driver's seat of the car and took off. So on the video, he can be seen parking somewhere, going somewhere. They found the car, they found him, and she is okay. So this is one of those odd little, I would say a skirmish, not quite what you had to write about, but people do fight and then things escalate. And I think everybody, he could have driven the car quickly, too quickly, there could have been an accident. All these things could have happened. And this one turned out a little bit happier in that no one was wounded terribly, I guess I can say.
So she just had like a little cut.
She had a cut.
Because you hear machete and cutting somebody, you think awful.
Right, exactly.
And we're glad that it's not.
So Piles has a preliminary hearing that was set for February 28 in Scott County Court. So know that we try to follow these cases. I think we're following about 330 cases right now,
something like that,
between the two of us. And what we do when someone is arrested, of course, that gives them a chance to go through the processes.
Right.
And a lot of times when we see what sound to be heinous or dramatic crimes, they're a moment of passion, and people often are ordered to serve on probation.
Yeah.
But depending on how violent the crime is, we never really know. People can make a plea deal, so we try to follow these through to the sentencing.
Right. That way we get the whole story.
Exactly.
All right, well, that's all the time we have this week for Quad Cities Crime Watch. Join us next time for more on the crimes that hopefully keep the Quad Cities locking their doors at night.
And please lock your cars.
And cars, too.